Well, we heard Jamie Carragher talking about this a few moments ago, so let's get to that remarkable statement by Arne Slot. I wonder what Liverpool fans make of it. Speaking in a Liverpool Roundtable discussion hosted by our very own Vicky Gomersall, the title-winning boss claimed that playing good football is more important than winning trophies. Quite the claim at a club that demands success.
You can win the league, you can win the Champions League, you can win an FA Cup or a League Cup, but the biggest thing you can win is that you can play the nicest football to watch. Although at this moment of time fans might argue this a little bit, but it is so absolutely something that I am aiming for. I always want to have the ball, I want it to be intense, I want the fans to like what they see, and that is something I dislike the most. I would almost say even more than our results, even more than the league table, that not all of our fans or every single moment of the game see us as a joy to watch. And the hardest thing is I even understand, because I agree with them. Trophies is one thing, but being a team or a club or a manager that stands for something, that stands for good football, is, I think, in the long term even worth more. If I think about Liverpool, their most successful period in the last 5 to 10 years, then I think about Bobby Firmino, Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, because they've scored goal after goal after goal. But if I'm in the building and I'm talking about that period of time, I hear two other names constantly, and that's James Milner and Jordan Henderson. That's also things you're looking at, that you have the right mentality, people that know what the culture is. So maybe to the outside world it's mainly about those three attackers who scored goal after goal after goal. But we are, and Richard as well, we are aware of the fact that it's not only the ones that make the difference maybe in individual quality, but to get a successful team you need other qualities as well. I think I said the same after we won the league. I like the perspective of winning the league twice in 5 years, a bit more than twice in 30 years. I think we are all trying to aim for that, and I think we're in a very good place. Unfortunately, we're not the only team that's in a really good place. I think the Premier League has become stronger and stronger and stronger. Mm-hmm. But that makes it also more interesting and even nicer if you then in the end can win it.
I think if you ask any Arsenal fan if they don't play very well to the end of the season and win a trophy, I think they might be more pleased about winning the trophy. I get his idea behind it. I don't think he would be saying that if he was top of the league. I think at the moment he looks at it and thinks, I'm not really in a position to win a trophy, so now I've got to concentrate on making sure the team's playing good football, which, you know, genuinely Liverpool teams do play good football, so he has got a history behind him. He has to do that, and I think that's demanded of him by the fans and the club. I know that in an ideal world, yes, they would have brought in some reinforcements in this window, maybe 1 or 2, but I think that because they had such a big spend in the summer, and it wasn't just a like for like, it was a reshuffle as well. And that hasn't really gone as well as everyone had hoped. So I think that by bringing in more players, I think that would have been a bit more of a reshuffle, and I think this team is already at the max where it could cope with that. So I'm not massively surprised that they didn't really bring anyone in to bolster it for the end of the season. Bearing in mind, they still have a really good squad. Yeah, a lot of this team did win the Premier League last year, so it's it is a fantastic squad of players. It's just, unfortunately, the second season after winning the Premier League is a lot harder, I would assume. So mindset and being able to get to them levels again is going to be harder than before.
Right, we're going to talk about a man who gets paid £500,000 a day. Our chief correspondent, Carve Solokol, is here to talk about
£500,000 a decade.
To talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, of course. Is he still on strike?
Well, Saudi football officials, senior officials, now expect him to end his strike. That is what we were reporting this afternoon. And I believe that Cristiano Ronaldo is definitely going to end his strike now, because just in the last few minutes as well, he's posted a picture on some of his social media accounts of himself back training with Al Nassr. So that would appear to confirm that this strike is now over. The strike that lasted, I think, 2 days, which is how long it takes Cristiano Ronaldo to earn £1 million. One of the reasons I think it's over is because the officials at Al Nassr had said to him, OK, Cristiano, you've made your point. you missed the game on Monday, but we've got a really, really big game on Friday against Al Ittihad. Al Nassr are second in the table at the moment, 1 point behind Al Hilal. And if Al Hilal drop points at Al Akdoud tomorrow, that means that Al Nassr could go top of the Saudi Pro League by beating Al Ittihad on Friday. So a big, big game for Al Nassr on Friday. And at the moment, we expect Cristiano Ronaldo to be playing again, and we expect him to end this famous, or should I say infamous, strike that he's been on for a couple of days.
2 days. Has he played us? Is this just for publicity?
Look, I think that's one way of looking at it, but the people we've been speaking to in Saudi Arabia have been taking this very, very seriously. You know, one of the most famous people in the world going on strike is not good for the image of Saudi Arabia. It's not good for the image of the Saudi Pro League, the Ministry of Sport, the Sovereign Wealth Fund, who owns some of the biggest clubs in Saudi Arabia, including Al Nassr. So, on the one hand, you could say all publicity is good publicity, especially because Monday was transfer deadline day, and it's good for the Saudi Pro League to be talked about. But I don't really think they want to be talked about in this kind of way, because this is not a good news story for them to have the most famous footballer in the world coming out and saying he's unhappy with the way the Saudi Pro League is being run.
Yeah, come on. So what's it all about? What's his beef? What's his problem?
I think what pushed him over the edge was on Monday when it was announced that Al Nassr's great rivals in Riyadh, across town, Al Hilal, had bought Karim Benzema, effectively on a free transfer from Al Ittihad. And the reason it got Ronaldo so angry was that he feels that by bringing in a player as good as Benzema, that could give Al Hilal a decisive advantage over Al Nassr in the title race. The major issue he has is that he believes that there are 4 clubs in Saudi Arabia who are owned by the Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund, majority owned by them. Al Nassr, Al Hilal, Al Ali and Al Ittihad. And he believes that the Sovereign Wealth Fund have been prioritising Al Hilal, who see themselves as the Real Madrid of Saudi Arabian football. He believes that they have been backed more in the transfer market than his own team, Al Nassr. And if you look at the facts, it would appear that he does have a point. Because since Ronaldo moved to Saudi Arabia in 2023, you can see there, Al Hilal have spent almost £200 million more than Al Nassr.
But I bet they're not paying someone £500,000 a day, though, are they?
I thought you might pick up on that. A lot of people have been saying, look, the reason they can't spend as much as Al Hilal is because they're spending so much on Cristiano Ronaldo's wages. The other point is that Saudi Arabian football has now opened up to outside investors. So outside investors can put money into clubs. And one of the richest people in the world, a billionaire called Prince Al Walid bin Talal, he has started putting money into Al